If you enjoy the music, the talk, and the vibe right here on WHPR, we need your support. Help us keep independent radio alive by sending a Cash App donation of whatever you can to $WHPR TV Radio. Every dollar makes a difference. That's $WHPR TV Radio. Support the station that supports you.
Oh, sorry. Mr. Tyler called me. So welcome to another show of Politics of Politrics You Decide with Tula Cabone and Brother Justin Barnett.
Hello.
Hello. And you know if you hear the sound of our voice, that means God has blessed you to see another day. Prayers go up, blessings come down. Let's say amen.
Amen.
All right, y'all. You know we always start out by saying we want to give shouts out to Brother R.J. Watkins and Brother Henry Tyler for bringing the brainchild of this operation called 88.1 FM WHPR and 107.5 FM WGPR HD3. But they are also 2015 R&B Hall of Famers.
Hello.
Give shouts out to Miss Maxine and Miss Michelle as well, and
Yes.
everybody else affiliated with this wonderful independent radio family. Justin, it's on you now, family.
Keyword, radio family, man. Shout out to RJ. Shout out to HT. Shout out to as well Miss Maxine as well, you know. So very, very important for us to be on this show.
Absolutely.
So, we done been through some things, haven't we, T?
Yeah, we have.
We so it's good to be here.
Be home. We're going to call it.
And
like
be
that.
home, you know. So
Me and
you know,
Justin was on 9:10 a.m.
yeah.
When it was once titled one of the top black radio stations. And that's why I met Justin at, and we've been here. And this, to me, is the more comfortable of all radio stations I've been on. I could say that unequivocally.
Yes.
But I just want to say today, I want to shout out. I just feel like saying this, Justin.
Mm-hmm.
Shouts out to Mike Swartz.
Shout out to Mike Schwartz,
Memory
man.
of Mike
I
Schwartz.
was just thinking about
Justin,
him the
Justin
other
was
day,
on
man.
his show, and I'm just having a sidebar conversation with Justin. I used to have my show, Real Talk with Tula Cabone, at 7 o'clock on Thursday, 7 to 9, and Justin, Mike Schwartz, and Al Williams used to come on after me.
Tuesdays.
And Mike Schwartz used to always come in and joke with me.
You used to always mess with him with the shirts too. You like, check out the shirts.
Yeah, I used to always hit him with check out the shirts. So I just want to say I wish you here to have this conversation about the political thing.
Ah, man.
So let's have a conversation. It's gonna be to me it's a great conversation. First, I want to shout out to Donovan McKinney.
Shouts to Donovan, man.
Let's shout him out. I want to say
go ahead and give him a round of applause.
Yeah, let's give him a round of applause.
Let's go ahead, man.
And also, I want to say, Donovan McKinney, thank you for running commercials on this radio station. He won.
Right.
And the brother who ran for ombudsman, I don't particularly know who that was, he ran commercials on the radio station, and he won.
We'll get that brother's name.
We'll get his name. So I'm always telling somebody else that came to the radio station, Tony Reeves. Toy Knee Reeves.
Yeah.
He won.
Shout outs to, and let's clap him up too.
Right.
I'm gonna clap that brother up too, because he won big too.
That
Let's
shows
go.
when you come to small independent radios or run commercials on this radio station, that you got an opportunity to win. Justin, people keep thinking that small independent black radio doesn't matter. What it just showed with Donovan McKinney, who's in his district, right? He ran against Cherie Tanadar. And I'm going to say it because I can say it now. You know how many commercials Cherie Tanadar ran on this radio station? 0. The brother from Ombudsman ran a commercial on the radio station. He won. Tony Reeves came on the show several times. He won. So shouts out to him. Ken Locke came on there. He won. Alyssa Slockins came on the station when she was running for United States Senate. She won. So we do got winners on our belts.
Yeah.
So I just want to say that.
Also, shout out to everybody who ran, period.
Right.
Because
and
it's just extraordinary people, period. Yeah. So let's get away from all the hoo-has and everything and just look at individuals as just extraordinary people going for these positions, positions that's
it's
going
hard.
to
It's
change
hard running
our
the-
situation.
Yeah,
Hopefully for
it's
good.
hard running in the politics, man, because it's going to turn into politics or politrics. You decide. It really does. So let's go ahead and have a conversation concerning the Senate race. As you know, I really was trying to spell out, the history of who I felt was more qualified based on experience. Haley Stevens.
Shout out to Haley Stevens.
Shout out to Haley
Still,
Stevens.
shout out to Haley Stevens.
And Syed won.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
And we're going to give him a shout out too. I mean, on both sides.
Well, I definitely shout him out, but let's have, we finna have the hard conversation.
Let's go.
So some people feel, uncomfortable with him winning.
I mean, that was in the Free Press yesterday. I think I took a screenshot of that for you guys, and I can put it up. But they did have that in the Free Press, I believe, yesterday. I'll pull it up while we're going through the show.
Well, yeah, because people feel uncomfortable.
They said that. They said that on the front page about the results. So what were you going to say to
So
them?
I'm saying, and some people feel uncomfortable because they feel, one, that he's not going to represent the interests of all Michiganders. And let me be more clear.
More specific?
Particularly the homeless.
Okay.
People who are what we call marginalized, poor, and very poor. If you listen to primarily the progressive platform, they talk in terms of the working class, right? They don't mention the words poor, marginalized poor, particularly women in general. A woman right to choose her own body, do what she need to do. In some cases, women get, and I'm gonna just say the word, abortion, because it's a medical procedure that's necessary in order to save her life.
That's a very good point.
It's her right to choose. The LGBTQ rights, whether we agree with their lifestyle or not, still they have a right to live without being punished. Focus on senior citizens, so I can, I'm and what I feel like African Americans, sometimes we got to be narrow-minded in our decision making. I'm particularly focused on the marginalized poor and very poor. Detroit has the highest homeless rate amongst black men. When it comes to the homeless rate in Detroit, the highest homeless rate in Detroit is primarily black men. I haven't seen anything within the progressive agenda that particularly address urban poverty. So
I will pull that up for you. I just
please
seen
do.
something.
But some people felt that some of the language he used during the campaign was male chauvinist, calling Michelle Obama ineffective, uninspiring, calling Gretchen Whitmore, calling the governor of Michigan, Gretchen Whitmore.
Gretchen
I'm
Whitmore.
sorry, I'm trying to talk too
That's
fast.
fine.
Gretchen Whitmore, calling her bought and sold for, making fun of Haley Stevens, saying she couldn't put two sentences together. It also came out, allegedly, he referred to her as an ogre, but when they was doing the debate, he said different, calling Barack Obama a failure. So when we see this dogma that was said, and to me, it was things that at some point, you tell the truth when you feel like you're comfortable with your life. You feel what I'm saying? Like there's no political consequences. And to me, I don't understand what part of Michelle Obama is uninspiring and ineffective. I get it. You might disagree with Barack Obama policies, but to refer to him as a failure is
extreme.
bananas. You know what I'm saying? So, and when you see that type of stuff, and he never owned up to it, right? And I was watching this interview last Sunday, right before the election, when he was interviewed on Dana Bash. Dana Bash asked him about it. He said, well, them comments was like almost 15 years ago. And, she said, well, because they admitted, also he was one of the spearheads of the uncommitted during the primary. not when Kamala Harris is chosen to run. But my thing is, you can't start a fire, then say put it out once the house start burning. You know what I'm saying? He started the uncommitted movement, jumped off the bandwagon, and then said he voted and jumped on Kamala Harris' wagon. Well, the uncommitted already had started. Kamala Harris lost by 80,000 votes in Michigan to Donald Trump. If the uncommitted would not have been started, if they would have been encouraged to vote for Kamala Harris, she could have won Michigan.
Let me ask you this question about
Sure.
Saeed. Do you think he can do the job?
Justin, so let me give an analogy and we'll talk about it. If you had somebody that's been a mechanic for 20 years, you take your car there. They haven't seen all the cars there is. So a guy who just started being a mechanic, just got out of college, been going to college for 5 years, he said, hey, man, don't take your car to here. Let me work on your car. Now, the person been working on for 20 years shows the experience and know-how. Got a good track record.
So you saying he's inexperienced?
He's definitely never been in political office. And for you to go to the Senate running under this administration right here, one thing Trump came back with the second administration, Justin, he came back with laws already written. He had an experienced administration. They was dropping laws all the time. Trump was doing like this. You know how you go to the club, you flash that money, you've been making it rain. He was making laws rain. So for somebody to get in there who's never ran who's never been elected been elected and worked in a political office.
Paul Johnson.
Paul Johnson?
Ombudsman.
Okay. We want to get shouts out. Okay, Mr.
Shout out to R.J. Watkins. Yes. He did say you had to put him out there.
Shouts out brother Paul. You want to shout out brother Paul Johnson.
Paul
Johnson.
Johnson.
Ran a commercial on this station for ombudsman. And guess what? We're going to say it again. He won.
Say that brother's name again.
Paul Johnson. Shouts out to Paul Johnson.
Okay.
And Donovan McKinney.
Yes.
Donovan McKinney.
Yes,
we mentioned him. The 13th Congressional District Congress was the John Conyers seats. So when you look at it like that, Justin, I'm not going to say, I think he got to learn on the beat. And he's dealing with 100 people. He's only one vote in the Senate. That's it. He's a one vote. And if he get elected, he'll be the first Muslim to go in there. You walking into a lion's den. The Senate sometimes has been historically, call a spade, racist.
So
right?
let me ask you this question about that, because I understand where you're going with this one.
But it's fair.
And I hear you with this one as far as the past actions and stuff like that. But we're moving forward. He is already elected. My question. He's not elected, but he passed the primary, okay?
So we gotta be
so
specific.
He's going to the general election, right?
Correct.
Now, as a Democrat, because that's what he's running for, Democrat.
Well, he running a Democratic ticket.
Okay.
He's running a Democratic ticket.
Okay, let me, excuse me, listeners.
We gotta be
Tula's
clear.
already got, Tula's got some, I, for some reason, progressive Democrat is running through my head.
He said.
What type of Democrat? It's a different type of question. I see it.
Right. You know what I'm saying? He said he's not.
But let me ask you this on a serious question.
Go ahead.
As far as opinion, what I would think, we got the guy, we got him running for, Democratic Party.
Well, he's on the Democratic
so
ticket,
as far as if you disagree with them, and not you specifically, but in overall, overall, for all the Democrats that maybe some disagree with them, would you still vote as far as the the general election to get a Democrat in there, or do you just not vote for that person? I'm gonna add on to this because a lot of discussions, a lot of people are talking about they want the House and the Senate to be taken over by Democrats. So that's the mission statement. It's like the bottom line.
Okay.
We want the Democrats to have the majority of the House and the Senate, right?
Correct.
So you get example like Saeed, it was a very close race. So it's a lot of people on that other side that didn't vote for him. I'm asking them, as far as getting the mission statement of getting a Democrat in office, even if you don't agree with his policies or didn't obviously vote for him, do you still vote for him in the general election to get the mission statement across, or no? What do you think?
Well, some people are saying, and I'm gonna call a spade.
Is that did I ask the right question?
No, correct,
what do you think?
You did. That was a great question.
Okay,
that was a great question because some people are saying that they don't trust him.
Right.
They don't. So let me be clear. He done, and I'm gonna call a spade a spade.
Okay.
Whenever you demonize a whole organization like AIPAC, you might have a problem with AIPAC and some of the leadership and their funding, as far as how they're giving money to politicians to fight for Israel, right?
Right.
You might say that, but you can't say every Jew in AIPAC supports the entire destruction of Palestine. And what Saeed did, the way he framed his word, is that if you got money from AIPAC, you was toxic, which leads to the Jews being toxic, right? So yesterday, I seen him do an interview. He finally broke down and said, well, every Jew that's a part of AIPAC does not mean they agree. Well, you should have said that during the primary.
Oh, yeah,
right?
well, you know, it's politics or politics, you decide.
Right, well, but that
you know
ain't
what
but
it
Justin,
is.
It
Doing
creates,
it like you're doing it for TV.
It creates an does it? Let me rephrase that. Do it create anti-Semitic? Because now when somebody is Jewish and you begin to demonize the organization, that
I don't think so. I'm going to have some pushback as far as the anti-Semitic statement.
Well, let me tell you this.
But as far as who pays you and who controls you was always the statement. Whatever the money you get from the campaign, specifically everybody likes, the majority talks about AIPAC. Okay, they don't want the money from AIPAC. They don't get the money from AIPAC because if you get it from AIPAC, they control you.
But Justin, all lobbyists control you. Who are they getting their money from?
We're thinking more right wing versus left wing.
No.
Or am I wrong?
No, yeah, because AIPAC get money to Republicans.
Okay, well, answer this question.
Well,
do you think?
Let me just say
but
this.
You never answered my initial question.
I'm about to answer it
you
now.
Veered off. Let's go.
Let me answer the question.
Okay.
I don't think he's going to get the Jews to vote for him, even though he said yesterday that he wants.
That's not the question that I asked you.
No,
I didn't ask you about the Jews. I asked you about the Democrats. For the sake of Democrats,
okay, but you're asking
will they still vote for this man, even though they didn't vote?
Okay, let me finish, good brother.
Yes.
Jews are Democrats too. You're asking me they are.
I didn't say Jews. Okay, I said Democrats. Now you're saying Jews.
Let me finish.
Now you say now you're taking a group of people.
Okay, there's a reason I'm doing that.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you, family. I appreciate it. The reason I'm saying that, because like you need a certain section of black people to vote for you to win, you have to have a certain section of Jewish people to win. And if you do not get that section, you're not going to win the general election. That's why I said that.
Okay, so he needs the Jewish people to win.
But you didn't demonize them.
Okay. What about the rest of the Democrats besides the Jewish community?
I think, well, some black people.
Here you go. But go ahead.
Because I got to be truthful. I'm just telling the truth.
I said Democrats. And
I know,
then
but
you was going.
But the Democrats are not.
As an overall, as Democrats, let me ask you that question.
You have to departmentalize that because you got the listen. You had the progressive Democrats and you have the modern Democrats. The moderates voted for Haley Stevens. You want me to say you can't do that?
Because I knew this would be. So
let me say this.
Question.
Do what? No, what? No.
Ask you.
Right, but
you couldn't just say the Democrats.
No, I couldn't.
Yeah, it had to be the progressive Democrats.
Because that's what we are.
It has to be the Jewish department
because
Democrats.
You know why? Because that's what they're calling themselves. The Democrats.
Let's go all the way down the line, Tula.
Okay,
fine.
so here we go.
The progressive, are they going to vote for Saeed?
The progressive, yeah, they probably will.
But the Jewish community, are they voting for Saeed? The Democratic Jewish community.
No, I don't think they are.
What about the Democratic black community?
I don't think that the black people who voted for Haley Stevens is going to vote for Saeed. They don't feel Saeed. They feel Saeed is more worried about the West Bank than the West Side. That he's more worried about over there what's going on over in Middle East or over there in another country, more so than he's worried about the black community, which for reasons I just told you. He hasn't laid out agenda for poor black people in general. He has not laid out, and what I mean laid out, you can speak, but you got to show. And I haven't seen nothing in concrete writing concerning what he's going to do for African Americans in general. I haven't seen his agenda for women in general. I haven't seen that.
So my question is, and it still stands, will the Democrat, for the Democratic sake of Democrats to get in office for the House and Senate, will they vote for somebody that they didn't vote for the primary, but will they vote in the general election just to get that mission statement across, that ship across? What do you think?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to tell you another reason is that what he said about abolishing ICE.
Fair statement.
When you talking about abolishing ICE, if you talking about abolishing, I'm reading the phone. If you talking about abolishing ICE, you think he, follow me, Justin.
I'm following you.
When you talking about going way up north, tell them people up there in the suburbs that you want to abolish ICE, and you ain't, only thing you said, well, we're going to abolish ICE.
Right.
And we're going to bring INS in. You just really went back to the Biden
But
stage.
if you don't vote, then you leave that space open for the Republican
Okay, so
and the
here
right
we go.
side.
Now you
So
said
what's up?
Okay, here we go.
This is like that
Okay,
Jill
here we go. We
Jill
here.
Stein conversation
Okay,
we
so
had.
two things.
That's a perfect example.
Let me say this
brother.
first. Let me say this first. Then we're gonna go to that part.
Shout out
We're
to
gonna
the
go to
listeners.
we're gonna go this part. Some people talking about writing Haley Stevens' name is in.
Ooh,
Writing
that
her name in.
Okay.
They talking about writing her name in. Or guess what? This is gonna be the most.
You can
extreme.
do that.
Switch to the Republican Party and vote for Mike Rogers.
Wait. Rewind.
I'm telling you. Listen.
Say it
listen
again.
to my words. They're talking about writing Haley Stevens' name in, or they want to switch instead of voting for Saeed and vote for Mike Rogers in the Republican Party,
and
or not vote. Or third, not vote at all.
So let's talk about that second part.
Okay.
Elaborate.
So they saying that they don't want to vote Saeed in because they don't trust Saeed politics in general, that he's a walking contradiction in his statements, and that particularly he hasn't done enough for the groups I named. Women, what is his policy?
I don't want to hit the list.
Justin, you're asking. Listen, brother.
They don't agree with Saeed, right?
Justin, you're asking me to ask a question. Whenever you're doing politics, man, you have to give an analogy for people who don't understand why. We understand why. We have to explain it to the people why. You're asking me why certain segments of society.
I'm asking you, why are they voting for Mike Rogers, the Republican?
Justin,
why is a Democrat voting for a Republican?
Well, Justin, because some people feel that
that's extreme.
Some people, Justin, I agree with you. 200%. I'm going to say that. Some people feel that the so-called progressive movement intentionally trying to hijack the Democratic movement as we know it. You know, instead of starting their own movement, they want to come into the Democratic House. That's like me coming to your house and not following your rules. And I said, well, Justin, man, no, we're going to follow my own rules. This is what we're going to do. And ain't nothing you could do about it. And we finna elect somebody else to run the spot you ran. You gonna be like, hold on, man, why don't you go? Nah, we ain't doing that, Justin. The so-called Democratic Socialists, right? Now, what Saeed has said, and I respect his position, he has stated, I'm not a progressive, I'm a scientist, I'm a doctor, but you hanging out with those people. It's a guy named, I think, Piker or something like that. I'll look up his name, but Piker is a guy who said that, I think he the one stated that 9/11 should have happened to the United States.
What?
I'll look it up.
Yeah, we gonna get some.
I'm going, listen,
man.
let me be clear, but Saeed has been connected to him. Matter of fact, he was just with him, I think, last week. They asked him about that. He
now,
said,
this conversation about people voting for Mike Rogers
that to me,
is
Justin,
kind of like a sabotage. I mean, what is this?
It is.
And where did you hear this conversation from?
Well, I talked to a few people, and they told me. Literally, I talked to them. They told me that. Literally, they told me. They say they do not want to vote for him. And if they had to vote for him, they would prefer to vote for Mike Rogers. I agree with you. It's to me, I'm not going to do it. I can tell you that. I'm never going to vote Republican. That, to me, is insane. But also, I want to say this as well. I need to say this. When Kamala Harris was running, I got to say this. Because now you got Democrats saying with so-called the Democratic Progressive and the Democratic Socialists, now the Democrat got a big tent for everybody. right? This is what they saying now.
I see,
right,
man. Democratic Socialists,
right.
it's all these flavors,
right,
man.
They said, but when Kamala Harris ran,
Uh-huh.
the tent wasn't big enough for her. That's why they voted uncommitted. So all these people now that's trying to embrace the Democratic progressive and the Democratic socialists, they want to embrace the black woman. The tent wasn't big enough to squeeze her out, even though she was overqualified for it. The tent wasn't big enough to accept Jasmine Crockett because they said she talked too much. The tent wasn't big enough to accept the lieutenant governor of Michigan, Gilchrist, when he should, to me, been able to run as governor.
Definitely.
The tent wasn't big enough for them, but now the tent is big enough for everybody else. So now black people supposed to say, oh, yeah, well, you know what? Yeah, it wasn't big enough for us. But, yeah, bam, we going to vote for y'all and let y'all get in the tent. We feel some type of way about that, family. We feel some type of way, and rightfully so. You have to keep it a buck with us. Keep it a buck. Say, hey, we don't want black people in certain position of power. If you are a Muslim, and I'm not saying this apply to everybody, if you are Muslim and you don't want women in power, then say that. Say that. Don't come and bamboozle us. And then when a Muslim get nominated for a position, now you argue that the tent is bigger, can be accepted.
That's why we named the show what we named the
Politics
show.
And politics.
That's why
because it's real.
Anytime it gets to that point,
but it's
remind
real.
us.
Is it real? Is it that some people didn't want Haley in there because she's a woman running against a Muslim?
Simplistic, just like that, yes.
But let's have that conversation.
Yes.
You know what? She's running against a Muslim. We don't want a woman, because Alyssa Slockin's already got one Senate spot. So on the second one open, that's the one Haley and Saeed was going for. And these are things, man, that people really don't want to say. And this is why I say, when it comes to black people, we have to stand on all 10 to be fighting for our position. I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say it proudly and loudly. I'm glad Donovan McKinney won that spot. Yes, I am.
Okay.
Because
I'm glad as well, too.
Because we hadn't had no black representation in Washington, D.C. Donovan McKinney, he going to understand when we say, hey, man, go sponsor that bill for reparations. Don't co-sponsor it. Sponsor that bill that John Conyers for that.
Donovan McKinney.
We happy.
I have one word for
we happy.
Now, wait, hold on.
I'm going to meet some collard greens at his house.
Hold on, brother.
Go ahead.
I got one word for Donovan McKinney.
What's that?
And that's interactive. Brother's interactive.
Right. Fact. That's fact, Justin.
And excuse the collard greens. Come on, brother.
Well, come on now.
Like, come on, man.
Justin,
you gonna eat some kale or something, bro? Come on, brother.
Look at Mr. Tight. But so man, Justin. So that's what I'm saying. What bothered me about the Democratic Party in general is that it's always more room for everybody else. But when it comes to black candidates who's overqualified, let me tell you what they just said, family. This is deep right here. They said that when Saeed brought in outsiders like Barney Sanders and AOC,
good point.
They galvanized the so-called white progressives, which is primarily what's make up the progressive movement. So now they're saying, well, that was a gateway to say we can bring AOC into Michigan if she ran for president of the United States and she would be embraced by Michigan. Zero.
Good point.
Because we gonna remember, like elephants, why you didn't vote for Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris is more qualified than all them, bro.
I agree with your statement, brother. Looking at the reflection, I do agree with your statement.
Yeah, you can't.
I agree with
can't,
your
now you
statement.
can't run. Now you can't run back to the house you burned down.
Let's not forget.
Right.
Listen, fill in the blank.
Don't run back to the house you burnt down. You'd have burned the house down with the uncommitted.
I like that.
Right? You to start, that's like you jumping out of a car going 90 miles an hour and you got about 40 more miles to go. You say, well, Justin, I'm out of here, man. I'm finna go back and tell everybody I started the car. You can't do that. You spearheaded that movement, family. You started that movement to be uncommitted, and when you jump out the water, and you say, well, hold on, I'm gonna go on the winning side. I'm gonna go on this side historically. I'm sorry I did that. No, you started the forest fire. And it burned the house down. She lost in Michigan, family, by 80,000 votes.
Less than 80,000.
Listen, if the uncommitted,
she lost by 20,000.
If there would never been an uncommitted vote, they voted for Jill Stein, or voted uncommitted, and they voted for Donald Trump. on the instructions of
Talking about Kamala Harris. I'm
no,
sorry.
I'm talking about when it came to her election,
Excuse
presidential election. They was instructed to vote for Jill Stein, who was
remember
backed
that.
by the
I remember
GOP.
that. I remember that.
Jill Stein was backed by the GOP to divide the votes among the Democrats.
I do remember that.
Okay, so then we got the Republicans, then we got uncommitted. So I don't know how to unforget that. You know why I can't unforget it, Justin? Because we end up with Donald Trump, who is giving hell to black people. He's giving us hell. Over 300,000 black women has been fired from the federal government. They say over 500,000 black men is in the unemployment line. They got rid of the Black Smithsonian. They raised and resurrecting Confederate soldiers, which started the Ku Klux Klan in Pulaski, Tennessee in 1866. So now the Ku Klux Klan was part of lynching my people, started by Confederate soldiers. And you want us to just somehow forget that you had a part in playing that Donald Trump getting elected?
That's why it's so important.
I'm trying to figure
That's
that
why
out.
it's so important, just on that statement alone right there. That's why it's so important that we need to get the Democrats inside the House and the Senate. I mean, do you agree?
Justin, but the question is,
Even out the
so
table?
That this is interesting.
Even the playing fields out?
Let's say this. I like what you said. Good point.
If you're a Democrat, excuse me, listeners, if you're a Democrat, then wouldn't you want Democrats to take over the House and Senate?
Let me get a phone number. Call in 313-365-7379. It depends on what type of Democrat. It depends on what type of Democrat. Let me tell you why.
And the number is
313-365-7379. Let me tell you why, Justin. Show me a homeless immigrant.
Yeah, we had that
no,
conversation.
I'm making a point.
We had that conversation.
Well, so you don't see none.
We seen that.
But you see homeless black because the Democrats that's been elected that has an immigrant history, they go straight into the Congress and the Senate fight for immigrants. And they convince other people to sponsor programs and bills to fight for immigrants. They don't fight for black people whose ancestors built this country, and as a result of structural racism led to our poverty. They decide over us. So now when you go to, say, Pajil Jalapal, who said that families were in them detention camps for immigration should get reparations. Hold on. I said, hold on. I played the video here. I said, hold on, wait a minute. What about black people? Right. You can't jump the line.
Can't say that word next to Tula either.
Right. You
can't say that word next to us.
But I'm making a point. It depends on the Democrat and what their policies are. We can't now back say when Mr. Title back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, when somebody said Democrat, it inherently involved the interests of black people. Now you have Democrats that's going to the Congress and Senate that's only fighting for immigrants, or their primary focus is immigration. When you cannot find a homeless immigrant, but you can find homeless Americans.
But where are you going to get that from the Republican? My whole point is
we ain't gonna get nothing. Listen, hold on,
brother. Let me say this, man.
Okay.
Because you're going about all the issues that we got going on, which is cool.
Correct.
What's the plan of action?
Okay, so the plan of action.
And elaborate just like how you elaborate.
Okay, I think
as far as the problem.
I think the plan of action is, Justin, that we have to be real narrow-minded who we chose or who we choose to get in power. We was very narrow-minded about Haley Stevens. I want to run something by you. Tell me somebody told me, this is interesting. Somebody said to me that did some of the Republicans switch over just to vote for Saeed to have him run against Mike Rogers, because Saeed is more of a target for them to make him an extremist.
Like an easy target.
Right. So when somebody said that to me, because he beat, I think, Haley Stevens between 15 and 20,000 votes, were those Republicans who switched over to vote just for him. That was a good point. Now, another thing, Mallory got 60,000 votes. She dropped out the race. My question was, and continue to be, why didn't you just endorse somebody? 60,000 votes. Haley Stevens lost about 20,000.
Yeah, that's where you got to look at the numbers, too, that kind of tell a story.
Right. But I'm making a point. Two things. Mallory could have endorsed Haley Stevens because she wasn't an extreme leftist or an extreme person as far as like Saeed, talking about abolishing ICE, or money out of politics. You can't never take money out of politics.
You got to be careful who you endorse too, especially while you're running.
I know, but she dropped. But good family, she dropped out the race though. Mm-hmm. So she still got 60,000 votes after dropping out. If I drop out, Justin, I'm going to endorse somebody because I overstand.
Now, there we go. That's the question. Now, who are you going to endorse? Somebody on your team, the Democratic or Republican
right? No,
team.
Democrat. No,
the
Democrat.
next best step.
No. I'm saying Democratic. The Democratic team. I would endorse
the Democratic team.
Correct.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
But no, but you're asking
for
me,
the sake of the Democratic Party.
Correct. I would do it because I would do it.
Exactly. That's what the same question I was asking you as far as the voters, the Democratic voters.
But Justin, we talking about two different subjects, though, family.
No, we not. We talking about for the sake of Democratic Party.
Yeah.
Even though I didn't initially vote for this person in the primary, I'm going to vote for him in the general to make sure that the House and Senate gets covered.
Let me ask you this. Do you feel Mallory should have endorsed, should she have endorsed the
See, that's a different type of question,
No, it's a straight question. Do you feel she should have endorsed somebody?
I'm not going to answer that. I mean, that's it's a tricky question for me.
Why?
For you to ask me
for
another candidate to endorse somebody
who dropped out the race.
It's a lot because I don't know what they have. I mean, it's more than one Democrat, right? So I don't know what relationships they have. For her enough to endorse her.
This ain't personal. The votes ain't
now,
yours.
I understand. This is like what I was talking about before, as far as candidates losing and endorsing the next step up. We already had this conversation, specifically as far as her representing, endorsing Haley Stevens. I can't be in the position to say yes or no. That's what I want to say.
Even if
I can't be in a position
I'm not
to say
saying
yes
endorse
or no.
Haley Stevens. You couldn't endorse one of the candidates because guess what?
Well,
when Saeed made their closing speech yesterday, Mallory was there hugging him. So now if you're going to do that, hold on.
Right.
You're going to do that, why not give you don't own the votes.
Exactly.
Hey, I'm out the race.
Exactly.
Go ahead and vote. Listen, I still love everybody, but I like Justin's playing better.
I just can't be in the position to say yes or no.
Okay,
I'm just not in that position to say yes or no.
I'm gonna say.
We think we had this conversation. If you want to rewind, with Whitmer and Gilchrist.
Yeah,
did we?
We did. So, but that's a different whole. But Whitmore didn't drop out the race.
It's the same family, though, right?
It's
same
different.
family and conversation.
But it's different. Let me tell you why it's different. Whitmore didn't drop out the race. Mallory dropped out the Senate race. She should have. Her and Haley Stevens was at the Island of Fashion when they was doing 100-man suits. Both of them spoke. I was there, right? Mm-hmm. Haley Stevens went to the. What I'm saying, Mallory should have endorsed somebody instead of getting votes that was useless because she dropped out of office. She's not running. That's almost like a no vote. You're not.
Don't you think that she would be thinking that though? And not sarcastically saying, but I'm trying to ask you: did she strategically not endorse?
Well, Justin, you know what? Maybe good brother. I don't. Well, we got to say yes. The answer got to be yes.
Politrics. Now you had hit me with something about the Republicans voting for Saeed. That's
man.
And then now we're talking about the Democrats voting for Mike Rogers.
But you think about it.
Really
they said
that.
They said this primary election in Michigan was a high voter turnout.
It was
20. Listen, the Republicans are tacticians. They move in silence. When that person said that to me, I think that the Republicans might have also voted for Saeed too to help him get over the finish line because he was an easier candidate to beat.
Now, why you say easy?
Justin,
elaborate.
First of all, let me tell you why, man. When you say money out of politics, how you gonna do that? I haven't seen the plan yet. When you say health care for all, you got to agree with 90. You got 99 more people. You got to put a bill together. And because you say that, don't mean you're gonna get to do that.
Of course, it's like high school, and we're gonna put chocolate milk in the
Right, you tell
the
everybody,
water fountain.
Right, you tell everybody.
Vending machines in the
Right,
school.
and you go, Justin, you talking real slick. Put me, elect me. I'm gonna get the chocolate milk and come out the water fountain.
The water fountain.
And then somebody gonna say, well, Justin, how you gonna do that? You gotta go to the facility.
You got the janitor.
Right, we ain't worried about that. Right, healthcare for all. You still got to talk to 99 senators. Some of them are Republicans. You have demonized AIPAC, and they look at that as a demonized the Jewish religion. You want to say abolish ICE.
Well, see, wait, I got to have pushback on that.
Go ahead.
You add the Jewish religion on that.
I know, but that's what I'm not saying that. The
extra.
Jewish people are saying that. They just put out a statement yesterday. He was on Morning Joe yesterday morning. He called Netanyahu a bloodthirsty. He called him bloodthirsty. Those are code languages they call Jews. That's a racist word.
Okay.
Those words, bloodthirsty is racist. Now, if you want to say that Netanyahu individually is a war hawk, you can do that. Go ahead, we got a caller. Go ahead, caller.
What's going on, gentlemen?
What's going on,
Hey.
Sly? Good brother, what's going on?
Hey,
Come on with it, Sly.
I hear the debate between the two of you. I supported Haley Stevens. Okay,
Awesome.
I voted for her, but I'm like you, Tula. I can't vote for a Republican.
No,
I really don't think Mike Rogers is going to win.
Yeah.
I really don't.
But would you vote? Well, go ahead, Sly. Go ahead, and I'm gonna ask.
Oh no, I'll ask you a question.
I want to know. I'm pretty sure you was hearing me talk to Tula about this. About just for the sake of Democrats. It's kind of like the title of my question. For the sake of Democrats, even though you per se didn't vote for this person, that one that's a Democrat. Do you think the majority of the Democrats? People will still vote for that person just to get a Democrat in office to take over the House and Senate. What do you think?
I believe that's the object of the game. You see, what is happening? We're allowing people to dissect the Democratic Party, and they want to come up with all these different different sections or factions of the Democratic Party, but don't fall for the, you know what I'm saying?
Well, let me say this though, Sly. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. No, go ahead, Sly. Go ahead.
If you want to put brakes or guardrails on a non-father,
He called Donald
you're
Trump.
going to have to put in people.
Hold on, slow down. Slow down.
Come back.
Hold on, Sly.
Come
Sly,
back.
hold on. They didn't catch that. What you call Donald Trump?
Well, Justin, you used to call Biden Sleepy Joe, and now we got this guy that thinks he's a gangster in the White House, but he can't keep his eyes open. He's the nod father.
The nod father.
Okay.
Go ahead, man.
So, and then wait a minute. Now the fool is calling for reparations for himself. He says now that he deserves reparations for the political persecution that he's been going through.
Oh, no, not that
You
word.
can look this up.
Tula, no, wait, hold up. You just said the
You can
right,
look this
wrong
up.
word.
Oh no, I believe you.
Sly, we believe you.
No,
You
no,
said
wait,
a
you
trigger
ain't got-
word, right?
Man, that's a trigger word.
Okay.
Donald Trump and reparations don't go together.
No.
Yeah, because people are talking about him now because he was somewhere out west, with, and they said he was wearing some type of wig.
Wait, no.
They said he had this kind of wig where he had like his his late 80s, early 90s style. I guess you call it a mullet, or whatever that was, how he wore his hair back then. But yeah, all kidding aside, he is calling for reparations for himself for political persecution.
Oh,
But
my God.
I also want
Yeah,
to touch
yeah.
on,
You know what, Sly? Let me add this in. Miss Tyler said this. And we have to listen, man. We got to be very clear about electing a Republican, and we're gonna talk about John James in that election.
But AC was
that's where I
talking
want to
about.
go.
Let me say this. Not only is he calling for reparations for himself, he's asking for reparations for the January 6ers.
Oh,
He
yeah, I
said
remember.
bad
We talked
things
about
happened to
that.
them.
Yeah.
Are you for real? What about? Let me raise my hand, black people.
And reparations.
He's
though?
asking
that
for
word.
He asking for compensation for those who went through January the 6th. He says that they were persecuted real bad. Man, that would have been 1,000 black people ran up there. They would have shot us dead.
Man.
Go ahead, Sly.
Look at the person that the Congress just confirmed.
You talking about
Blanchard?
the Attorney General?
Yes.
Well, I know they got to vote on the Senate.
He's all for it.
Oh yeah, come on, man. That you letting the fox in. Let me tell you my prediction, Sly. See if you and Justin agree with this. I want to talk about John James and him.
Okay.
Listen, let me tell you what's gonna happen. Trump has been advertising. Last week he did a flyer saying 2028 election. Blanche is the Attorney General. He's not gonna challenge that. That's a problem. He got Pete Hegseth over the military. You got to have somebody going. That's a problem. He got RFK, right? Right. He got, but he said, you said
yeah,
no.
that
okay.
HT.
So they going. He said they're gonna get rid of Pete Hegseth.
Said no.
But when you got Blanchard, that's the head of the Department of Justice. That's not going to challenge the president. Blanche. Well, okay, Blanche. Let me be clear. Blanche, who was not going to challenge the president, who want to run for 20. Y'all really think that guy ain't finna try to stand there in 2028? No, he's gonna do. Sly, you think he gonna try to stand there?
I think so.
No doubt about that.
What are you talking about, Trump?
Yes.
Oh yeah, he's trying to stay in there for as long as he can stay in there.
Yes.
Oh, of course.
But you gotta wake up.
Self-preservation is the first rule of nature.
He said you gotta wake up.
He's going to jail.
Yeah, that's true.
He's going to jail. And see, let's not forget two other people that are in this administration. I can't think of the one that I think he's part of the Treasury. Where he said he was racist before he became cool.
You ain't talking about Scott Bessie. You talking about the other guy. I know you talking about. I can't think of his name.
And then another one in the cabinet said white men should be in control of everything.
Wait, who said that? Say it again.
I gotta look it up. He said white man.
Yeah,
they did say that. He correct.
I can't call their two names.
Now, where did he say this from, Sly? Was this like a Twitter or some social media statement, or was this on like CNN or something like that?
I believe that was on one of those. I can't remember.
I'll look it up. I think it was on the podcast. I think I seen that.
What was it, Sly?
Yeah, he said that white men should be in charge or control of everything.
It sounds like social media talk. Right?
And see, that goes back to what I would always say: white people don't go into politics to govern; they go in to rule.
So
okay, but before we lose too much time, I'm kind of glad John James won the Republican ticket.
Now say it again.
I'm kind of glad that John James.
Me too.
Won the Republican nomination.
I like that statement, Sly.
Tell us why.
I am too, man.
Tell
us why.
Because Jocelyn Benson is going to hand his pants back to him. I keep saying, for Michigan to be the most segregated state in the nation, well, shall I say the state of Mississippi, being that we are up south rather. Mm-hmm. Mississippi is the most segregated state in the nation. And you are not going to see a black governor.
Correct.
Anytime soon.
But did you see that? Did you see the John James commercial against him? And this was making me feel like, okay, at least I'm on the same boat as you as far as him winning that one. They tore him up. They called him a lying liberal loser. And it's you know, I just kind of felt some type of way as a black man. Right. I really did. I think they went a little bit too hard on. What do you think? What do you guys think? Am I tripping?
Well, did you hear Al Saeed call him a bootlicker?
No.
Oh.
And he used that word?
Yes, he used that word.
He used bootlicker? He used bootlicker? Wow.
Yes,
I don't think. So I'm going to say that. I don't
what you think, Tula? Say something.
Al Sayed, you out your box with that one. That's like me disgracing or saying something offensive because I can talk about how the Arabs in the black community going there and get
Right, but you're stepping out of your character.
Right? I'm just keeping it within my character.
No, I'm not. I'm saying you doing right. I'm talking about
you can't
you can't speak on something like that. That's kind of like
to me that's you don't have a right to do that, particularly when your people, with respect, I say this, have all the party stores in the black community yet contribute nothing to the black community. Right, so that's borderline calling a person the N-word that's black, to me.
Or Uncle Tom from a different race.
Right, you don't have a right to say that.
I don't know. What do you think, Sly?
I don't think you have a right to say that.
Well, I'm kind of split on that, because when you have a person that wants to run for governor, and this is his second time doing so, I got a memory like an elephant too. Mm-hmm. And I can take you back to the year 2022, when John James said if he became Michigan, he would abolish Black History Month.
He said that.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Wow. Good reflection right there. We need these reflections.
Okay, so if another ethnicity can see that you are a bootlicker, sometimes you got to say, so be it.
Well, I agree, man, but I just don't think for Syed to have, he don't have no black credibility. And the reason I say that, because he called Barack Obama a failure. You call Michelle Obama unaffected. So you don't have that right to say that.
Okay.
That's why I say, don't try to, know we talking about the black Donald Trump, John James, and now you want to jump in on the joke. I'm like, hey, man.
Okay, well, you got to understand where we are to it.
You said what now?
Anything we say, even our slang gets colonized. Okay, cancel culture came from New Jack City.
Yeah, that's correct.
He canceled that girlfriend that turned on him.
Correct.
Cancel.
Okay. Yeah, cancel her out by another.
Right,
okay.
Right.
Woke became a pejorative, because that is how we would end our conversation when you go your way and I go mine. All right, dude, I got to go pick up this prescription for my girlfriend. I'll see you later. Okay.
Yeah.
So the culture vultures are always going to colonize our swag, our slang, because we are swag.
Facts.
Okay.
I agree with that.
So I'm flattered.
I'm flattered, but I'm offended by it. I'll say that. I'm not. Well, let me rephrase that.
I understand.
Yeah, I don't. Certain people don't have a right. Tim Wise might say that. Tim Wise is an advocate against racism. Now, if I heard him say John James a bootlicker, I'm going to rock with you on that, because you ain't never called, you said that you ain't never called Michelle Obama unaffected, uninspired. You never called Barack Obama a failure. You ain't never made a negative comment about Kamala Harris being president.
It will be interesting to see the Democrats as far as how they're going to vote, and Republicans and Democrats, but specifically the Democrats, how they're going to vote. Are they still going to go with the mission statement? Get the Democrats in there so they can take over the House and Senate.
Let me say that, and I want to say that. This is what I meant to say to you and Sly while Sly on the phone. So they asked, and this is what I was saying too. They asked Saeed. They mentioned the uncommitted. He said, "Yeah, I did that. Then I changed." Mm-hmm. And so Dana Bass asked him, "Well, if Kamala Harris was running again, would you support her?"
Who said they recently asked her?
Yes, 2 weeks ago.
Okay, nice.
Dana Bass said, "If she run again, would you support her?" You know what he said? "I'm not worried about that. I'm focused on the Senate race in Michigan." So you wouldn't? I'm not.
He didn't answer the question.
Did not answer the question. And I'll bring the receipts. Did not answer the question.
Okay. Yeah.
I got a problem with that.
See, I wouldn't.
I don't. I look at it like, hey, man, we got to keep this ship moving. I mean, at the end of the day,
he could have said
the ship is still sailing, brother.
He could have at least said, if she's the nominee, I will support her.
And we saying this while the ship is moving. Listen, this is what I'm saying,
family. He could have said, and listen, until I think about this.
He could have said what?
If she's the nominee, I would support her. That's how I would have answered it. If she's the nominee, I will support her. But just to say, oh, well, I'm worried about.
You know
I
why?
got a problem with that.
You know why? I was strategic.
But Sly. I got a problem with that. Am I right or wrong, Sly?
I want to comment about him and Barack Obama.
Mm-hmm. You said what?
If Barack Obama was a failure, that's our fault. we failed Obama. Obama didn't fail us because in November 2010, during his midterm, we did not surround the polls. We did not have lines going around the block.
I agree with that.
To get him a Congress.
I agree with that.
That was going to benefit him. And see, this is
good,
again.
Good
this is
analogy.
See, this
like
is,
that.
See, this again is why I think Al Said might, why the Democratic Party period might, because remember,
I don't think so.
Might flip Congress. Because remember, in 2024, Tula, remember I sent you that video that you played?
Yeah.
Indirectly, Barack Obama taught the nation how important a midterm election is.
I listen.
Because he would have done.
I like that.
He could have done so much had we shown up.
I listen.
I like that.
I
like that.
We got
Sly.
3 minutes, y'all. I think they're gonna flip the Congress, but Saeed, from what I'm seeing now, I can say this prematurely. This has been said by top political analysts in Michigan, not saying that we ain't, that their people are not going to vote for Saeed. They call him too much of an extremist. You cannot say the stuff you're saying. You can't say negative things about hate. She can't even put two sentences together. Then all of a sudden you say, hey, Justin, I need you. You just insulted me. You can't say the stuff and do the stuff you did to black people. All black people ain't going to accept that. They ain't going to say, well, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to vote for him.
Let me ask you guys this question. Will Haley Stevens endorse Saeed?
She already did.
Okay.
In writing. She said I endorse him and I hope he win. But now, will she really campaign for him?
You see that statement right there is just like it's just
But
what I was talking about for the Democratic state.
But
see?
but that doesn't matter.
You see,
Jasmine
what
Crockett.
do you mean it does not matter,
let me tell you
sir?
why. Let me tell you why.
If you're part of a team,
let me tell you
you're
why.
part of a team.
Jasmine Crockett endorsed Tallarico, but she won't campaign for him. You can say what you want to say.
You're adding on stuff.
But because you need the person.
We're strictly talking about endorsement.
I know, but Justin, endorsement no good.
Campaign.
But you have to have people campaign for you.
Sly, what you think, brother? And I hear you, Tula. I'm listening to you.
No. Go ahead, Sly.
I'm soaking you up. So pause. I'm listening, bro. Pause.
I'm a clear the airways because I know it's at the end of the show. But hey, Tula, you got the platform. Let's see if you can reach out to Al Said since he worked for the city of Detroit. Let's see if he'll come in and talk to Detroiters.
Okay, well I had Justin got the magic stick on that. He's more magical than me.
Because I keep telling y'all, your House and your Senate, you have to vet these people.
Correct.
Okay, if you want reparations, that's who you get it from.
Exactly.
That's true.
Okay, so now's the time because the Godfather got 2 years left. Okay, so this is the time to get to get a Congress and see if something can go through for reparations, and then by 2028 we may be this close to having some type of resolution or a bill to put on the incoming president's desk.
Okay. All right, brother, we got to wrap it up.
Time is of the essence, and then if Al Said does become congressman, if he doesn't work out, fire his ass. Vote his ass out the next time. Y'all take it easy.
All right, Sly, thank you. All right, great conversation as always. Listen,
Excellent
man, we had a great show.
Man.
Sorry we get a video, but we had a great show today.
We had a good show, man.
And listen, I'm asking people to please donate to the show. You can send money in 160 Victor Street, Highland Park, Michigan, 48203. And or you could do it by Cash App. As we see, independent radio is very important. And the conversation we have on here, you just ain't getting nowhere else. And shouts out to the two winners who did run commercials on this radio station. Donovan McKinney and I think Paul Johnson. That was Paul Johnson. Shouts out to y'all. That shows we have a winning radio station. So stop thinking.
And the rest of our contribution, I appreciate those too.
Yeah, absolutely.
We do.
We appreciate everybody that contribute. But we're asking people to please donate. And if you donate, let me say this. Say you're donating to Tulu Cabone and Justin Barnett shows, or just Tulu, however you want to do it, because all the money going to go into one pot toward both shows. So if you can, please do that. Y'all, we appreciate everybody. We appreciate, now we got to focus on getting people elected and have these conversations. But there's no conversation had like on this stage. Miss Tyler, give me the wrap up. All right, y'all. Justin, you got anything you want to say, good brother?
Hey, shout out to HT, man.
Shout out to HT.
Shout out to HT.
He gave me the wrap up sound. We got to
Giving
get
us a
going.
wrap up. We out.
All right, y'all. Catch my show Monday at 5 o'clock. Real Talk with Tulu Cabone and brother Pastor Frank Jackson. And you know what we always say, politics.
Politrics, you
decide. Power to the people. Power to the people. Power to the people. Stay woke.
If you enjoyed the music, the talk, and the vibe right here on WHPR, we need your support. Help us keep independent radio alive by sending a Cash App donation of whatever you can to $WHPR TV Radio. Every dollar makes a difference. That's $WHPR TV Radio. Support the station that supports you.
107.5 FM, WGPR HD3.